it's no joke. Oh, they just went through the light. Wow. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the Righty Boot channel. Today's video, do a quick review. Super 73R. Basically my opinion and thoughts after about 400 miles, a little over 400 miles on the odometer. I had the bike since March. So I had a good amount of time with it. It's the most miles I put on any e-bike. It's the most I ever ridden any of my e-bikes. So far it's been a blast. Start by talking a little bit about why I bought this bike over all the other bikes I looked at. Looks aesthetic wise, looks wise, I mean out of the box. It's only my opinion, but no other bike even come close to looking like this bike. Performance wise is another, I mean a lot of people say it lacks power and stuff like that. It's not very fast. This bike tops out about 34-35 miles an hour. It's not great going up hills. It's not bad. I have no real issue with it. Most of the hills around my area it handles pretty well. It's about 3 maybe 4 hills in my area that it doesn't handle very well, but it's good enough. I could do a little pedaling, you know. Main reason I bought this bike is probably the looks. That's what caught my eye. This is like one of the first e-bikes I seen of this type, and I didn't know what it was at first. I had to do some research, and once I researched a little, I found out a little more about Super 73. I'm more of a low rider, so moped, you know, moped style suits me a little better. The other reason I bought this bike was Super 73. They seem to be very popular. They seem to have been around for a while, and they have a huge community. A lot of people are helpful in the community, some, you know, with any community. But those are some of the things that attracted me to it. And then there's tons of mods for this bike. I mean, it's endless. For this bike, there's endless mods for it. Talk a little about the price. A lot of people complain about the price, say it's overpriced or whatever, but as they say, you get what you paid for. If I'm buying anything, I always try to get the best possible. Great bike, tons of fun. I mean, it's nimble as hell. It's responsive. It's agile. You know, it handles really well. The turning is not that great. The radius of the turning is not that great. It's kind of funny leaning. You gotta be careful when you're leaning on it. But other than that, performance-wise, I love the bike. I mean, out the box, the bike is great. You don't need to do a ton of stuff to it. The RX, it comes with lights and everything. This one didn't. So I'm gonna start out with the mods. I had it a headlight. It's a motorcycle headlight, 7-inch headlight. Offers great visibility. You can see potholes and everything on the road perfectly. I also added these turn signals. They're pretty good. I like the way they sequence and everything. They offer great visibility on the road. They make the bike pretty visible when turning and stuff like that. And they show a white DRL. They show a white DRL, and when you indicate, they go yellow. They sequence yellow. I added tail lights also. The tail light that came on the bike was it was kind of small, so I found this one on Amazon. It came with a fender attached, but I really just bought it for the tail light. It's a DRL and a brake light also. And then I got the indicators, which are also DRL brake lights and indicators. This bike didn't come with fenders, so I added these fenders. I got them off someone selling them off for RX. I got the rear fender. I also got the tire hugger. It makes the bike Looks good aesthetically. I mean, this bike, the way it came out of the box, it looked pretty good without the fenders. It looked like something for the military, everyone says. And I also added the front mud splash guard, and also the front fender. I really liked it without the front fender, but you know, I figure I got the entire set, so I'll just put it on. And also I added a motorcycle horn. Let's forget about the horn. It's too loud, in my opinion. It's too loud for the bike path, but it's great for the streets. You know, cars could hear you coming. I also added these pedals. They're 2 bearing. They're pretty big pedals. Things really hold your foot in place. I'm losing some oil on here, you know. And also I had this foot peg. I wish it would stay up, so I'm in the market for another one that stays up. Okay, the kickstand is stock. That was there already. Standard kickstand. I lost a little rubber. While I'm back here, let's take a look at the brakes. You got the Textro dual piston calipers with a 180 millimeter rotor. That's on both the front and the back. The front is equipped with also dual piston calipers, 180 millimeter rotor. The tires, I love the tires. The front tires, they're 20 by 4.5. They're all-terrain. They have, I guess they're proprietary because they got the 73 etched in them. The back ones are 20 by 5. They also have the 73 etched in them. They're a bit bigger than the front. They're staggered. That gives it a hell of a stance. The motor, I believe it's I think it's 1200 nominal and 2000 peak, and it's also proprietary, I believe, because it had a Super 73 on there. The derailleur is actually a chain tensioner. So I guess when the bike go over bumps and stuff, it flexes. It's a single cog, meaning there's, you know, it's not like a 10-speed or a 7-speed or anything. That's one of the ideas I'm playing around with. That might be the first real mod I do to this bike. And the crank, I think it's about 13 millimeters. And the sprocket is maybe 36 teeth, I believe. I gotta double check that. But it's okay for me. It's not great for pedaling, but you know, like I said, I like low riders, so you know, I pedal. And of course, the motor assists you, so it's not like real pedaling. If you're gonna notice, it has tons of mounting points on this bike. I put some screws in here that I had, little decorative screws or whatever, in case I ever have anything, you know, I don't know what, but if I ever come across anything that I need, I'm on the road and I got something that I can mount it, I have the screws available. I have a couple on there. And then I was worried about these holes rusting out also, even though I don't leave it outside, but you know. The battery is in a great location. I love the way it looks like a gas tank or something. It's a 52 volt. I think it's something like 960 hours, watt hours or something like that. I'll double check that. The seat, it's not the most comfortable. It's good for short rides, but anything, like I say, if you're going like 20 miles or something like that, it gets uncomfortable. It gets a little uncomfortable the longer the ride or whatever. But it's about, I'm going to be upgrading one. I'm going to be upgrading the seat. I'm looking for something almost identical. I got someone working on something for me. The seat is about, I think it's 17 inches, 17 and a half inches. So I'll be looking for something that maybe starts right here and covers this entire back. So I'm looking for something maybe around 21, 22 inches. But other than that, the seat is good. I mean, I haven't found any bike that the seat is comfortable. Even my aerial ride, I changed the seat, and it's still uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. So I'll see what happens when I get a new seat. But other than that, I mean, I have no real complaints over the seat. And the suspension, the rear suspension is pretty good out the box. I mean, it's pretty responsive going over bumps. It's smooth. I have no complaints with this bike going over bumps. The front suspension, and guys, I didn't do my true diligence in making this purchase, because the front suspension, for some reason, I thought you could adjust the dampening and stuff like that. But no, but it's air assist. It's an air assist front fork, and it's pretty responsive also. Like I said, I have no real issue with the suspension. I think the suspension out the box is better than what comes on the area rider. The area rider, I had to change out the rear shock, so I have no real complaint with the suspension, and no real complaint with this bike. Matter of fact, I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed it so much, I already put 400 miles on it. A little over 400 miles and counting. The other thing also is the handlebars. For me, they could be a little wider, but it's cool they came with the BMX style handlebars already. They could be a little wider, and I like mine a little straighter. But other than that, the handlebars are cool, right out the box. The other thing I forgot to mention was the display. This display is perfectly fine for me. I mean, sometimes it's a little hard to see, but during the daytime. But it's cool. I can see it for the most part. And if that's too small, there's an app that attaches to it. Okay, see if you can see that. Super 73 app. And bike is not on. Let me turn the bike on. See if I get them connected. Sun glaring and everything. Let's see if I get a... Okay, the Super 73 app connecting to the bike. Okay. I mean, you got everything on, you know, you got the dashboard. You can have your speed and everything on here.
Yeah, I see.
Hello?
How you doing?
All right. This bike doesn't come with headlights, but if it was the R or the S2 or one of those bikes that do come with headlights, you would be able to turn them on from here. You can set your modes. You know, you could do everything on this bike. You need to get into this app to unlock the bike, to have it go 30 something miles an hour. Otherwise, it comes locked. And I have no internet over here. Guys, my phone is not even working, so I might be having a little difficulty connecting. Oh, Sprint is now becoming T-Mobile, and I didn't get my chip in the mail, so I gotta call them back in a few minutes. I was in the process of doing it. Well, they be calling me back in probably about a half hour. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention was I added these Rockboro grips. They're a little cushiony, nice and cushiony, matter of fact. And I also added this motorcycle handlebar headlight switch. And I also added these brake leather grips. They look cool to me, so I figure I'll just throw them on for aesthetic purposes. And yeah, most fun e-bike I have so far. And I would say, if you're thinking about getting this e-bike, or any e-bike for that matter, I would say go ahead and do it. You will not regret it one bit. Well, yeah, guys, it's my Super 73R. Olive dab. This green to me is just so awesome. It's kind of discreet, just like the black one. And it kind of looks black from certain distances, but when you get up on it, it's just so pretty. This olive dab green is just so pretty to me. Well, let's take a ride. Okay, my gloves. I lost my brand new gloves. I like those gloves too. I bought those gloves to ride this bike. kind of match this bike. But anyway, yes, I said guys, this bike is very nimble, very agile. You know, kind of throw it around. A lot of people say it's not great for pedaling because their knees is up in their armpits, and I have long legs. I'm about a little over 6 feet, not quite 6'1". But I have no trouble pedaling this bike. I mean, it's not like pedaling a real bike. It's not like pedaling a real bike, so. How you doing? So I have no problem pedaling this bike. It gets up to 34, 35 miles an hour, so that's pretty adequate for me. I'm not looking to win any races. I mean, later on I might change my mind, of course, and upgrade the speed on it. But for right now, and I kind of want to keep this bike stock. I love the way it looks stock. I love having the frame empty. I mean, if I was going on a long ride and I needed to take something, I could always throw a frame bag in there. Or my trusty backpack, if I have one now. Guys are canoeing. Gotta get on the water. I wonder how those boats don't hold. They go through them. I guess they gotta go through those pylons right there. Even steering this thing is effortlessly. I'm not gonna be able to cross over, the bridge is up, but I'll go wait for it. I head back to the office because I gotta turn my phone on. They said today's not gonna be as windy as yesterday, and I think it's just as windy.